So we are so excited. We are the Hallmarkies podcast, and we are here celebrating President's Day and decided to do a special bonus episode. And I'm Rachel, and Amber is here.
Hi, everybody.
And are you having a nice President's Day?
Oh, you know it. Just relaxing, not having work. Oh, thanks, you presidents.
That's right. A special guest here with us for this podcast. One of our favorite Hallmarkies on Twitter is here. Her name is Emma, and she goes by the Hallremark on Twitter. And Emma, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Emma from the Hallremark. Don't know what else to say. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us. It's so nice. And you do basically kind of recaps on some of these movies, correct?
Yes, I do. I started with Countdown to Christmas 2017. I actually hadn't been able to watch Hallmark movies for about 2 years, which was terrible because we cut the cord and just had Netflix and Hulu. But this year I begged my husband. I said, please, I have to watch these Hallmark movies. So we got Sling, and it has just changed my life. But one night I thought, oh man, I just have to recap these. I have to review them. It's going to make things so much fun. And it has. So I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you started, the Christmas podcast blog only, and then you were like, you know what? This is a year-round thing.
Yeah, I made too many friends. And I was just having a lot of fun with it, and I just had to take it year-round. Yeah. There was no way I couldn't.
Well, I mean, Hallmark takes it year-round, so you just have to.
I had no idea how intense it was, but I'm okay with it. It just makes the whole year great.
Yeah, and I feel like this year is like twice as intense as last year. They're just getting like exponentially more involved in making movies.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's true.
For sure.
I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, yeah, Wedding March 3 didn't even make the Valentine's Day cut. Like, I mean, they have very high standards this year for Countdown to Valentine's Day or Christmas or whatever it might be. So yeah, it's once they kind of draw you in, then you're in here in Hallmarkies, and we're glad that you decided to stay, and that you came back to us with your Sling subscription. This is good.
That was not an ad, by the way. No one cares for me to endorse them. But thank you for welcoming me with open arms.
Oh, good. So what we decided to do today in honor of President's Day is we are talking about 4 movies that we decided kind of have a Hallmarkish feel to them. And so we picked 4 movies that are they're basically about like the president's kids. And we're going to talk about them, and it's going to be fun.
Yes, and full disclosure, this was my idea, and I pushed for it, and Rachel kept trying to add movies that weren't about children, and I was like, no, Rachel, this is what's happening. And essentially it derived from me finding out that Rachel had never seen Chasing Liberty, and then I have been wanting to podcast with Hallremark, Miss Emma, about any Disney Channel original movie for quite a while. And I was like, Chasing Liberty, My Date with the President's Daughter. Oh, there's only 2 more. This is perfect. So that's where that came from.
So if this ends up not being great, it's Amber's fault.
It's actually Rachel's fault for not liking them.
I can safely say, however, that one of these movies is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And that is not an exaggeration.
I don't know which one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I liked 2 of them fine. One I actually liked more than I expected, and quite a bit. And 2 of them were pretty rough for me. So it's interesting. We did a poll on our Twitter, and shockingly, to me at least, the winner was First Daughter, which is not one of my surprisingly good ones. for me. So I guess we should start with that because it's the favorite of the fans. So yeah, interesting.
We'll see what I think.
Yeah. So First Daughter, it came out in 2004, and it stars Katie Holmes, who plays the daughter of the president, obviously. And she is just feeling antsy, and she wants to be out on her own, and she's going away to college, and all kinds of shenanigans unfold. And I was not a fan of this one. I have to admit, like, certain actresses and actors I'm more inclined to enjoy than others. And Katie Holmes is just not one of those actors for me. And I just find her grating. I just don't like her as an actress very much. And who knows, maybe she'll have a Taylor Cole moment where I'll like, really like one of her movies. I don't know, but I just, even like, it was a major upgrade in The Dark Knight for them to go to Maggie Gyllenhaal, I think, from her. She's just not my favorite. And so that was a big barrier in my enjoyment of this film, the fact that she was the lead. Plus, I just thought that she seemed too old for the part. And because I think she was like 26 when she made this movie, and she's supposed to be like, 17, 18. I don't know. I just didn't like it very much. What about you, Amber? What do you think of this one?
Well, frankly, I love Katie Holmes. She will always be Joey Potter to me, and I will always be happy when Joey Potter does things. So, in your face, your bad opinion. And honestly, when it came out, I super did not like this movie. I really didn't like it when I went and saw it in theaters, and I was like, this is garbage. So going into it, my expectations were like through the floor bad. Mm-hmm. But on this rewatch, I was like, maybe it's not as bad as I remember. It's fine. I was actually super into all of the like transitions that they were doing in the movie, because it was pretty fun that they would just like seamlessly change them to one scene to the next. So, but overall it was serviceable, I'd say. It wasn't the best one.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Emma? What do you think?
Well, this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I was screaming at the TV, and I just sat there with my mouth wide open, and I was confused the whole time about why things were happening. And this is probably the meanest I've ever been. But I just don't even know where to start with this one.
I'm glad we got this one first. We got it out of the way.
Well, I'm going to scare people away.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think if I had felt, because basically I feel like this is an attempt to be like a Princess Diaries kind of movie, mm-hmm. But like that movie had Julie Andrews, and Anne Hathaway is a million times better than Katie Holmes in my book. And yeah, I don't know. She didn't have any chemistry with Mark Blucos, I didn't think. I don't know. What are some things you didn't like about it?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Just the dialogue. Like, every time they talked about something, I didn't know why. Like, I don't understand how they were having this conversation or why. I just left every scene confused. And I'm sorry. I just don't even know. I'm so flabbergasted by this one. I even thought that there's no way I can watch Miss Christmas again. Which has
no, don't let it ruin.
It was like my favorite one of Last Countdown to Christmas.
Don't do it. Don't let that ruin you. Because I went into Miss Christmas really disliking Mark Blucas.
Okay.
Because I really, didn't love this movie. And frankly, the first time I saw this movie, I hadn't watched all of Dawson's Creek, and I hadn't seen Miss Christmas yet, but I had seen Buffy. So I was like anti-Mark Blucas, neutral on Katie Holmes. The show was just like whatever. now, as a grown-up, I've come back and I've watched it after seeing Miss Christmas and falling in love with Mark Lucas, and after watching all of Dawson's Creek. So I think it tempered some of my original feelings. But oh boy, her friend is the worst. Can we talk about that?
The roommate? You mean?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's like they went to like a school of like black stereotypes and black like cheesy, terrible stereotype dialogue to me. She was terrible.
Why did she hit on every person? Like
Yeah.
old guys. Why did she hit on the president?
Yeah, that was weird.
I was so uncomfortable.
Everything about her character was grating, and like she even ruined late 90s, early 2000s fashion for me. I was all excited because this movie started and Katie Holmes had butterfly clips in her hair, and I was like, yes, this is it. It's way better than I remember. And then her friend showed up, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, she is terrible.
My least favorite person in any movie, maybe. And the thing that I do appreciate about this movie, and I watched it third of my rewatch, is that at least her character, Katie Holmes' Samantha character, isn't the one who's just like go doing ridiculous, stupid stuff for no reason just because they're rebelling against her. Like, she just wants to like go to college. Like, she's not like, I'm gonna steal a car and murder someone. Haha, freedom. So at least that, I mean, I guess that might have also contributed to that, because I was like, why are all of these children the worst people on earth? And like in this one, the worst person on earth is her roommate. So
yeah,
it was a nice change.
It shook things up. Oh yeah, I agree. I don't know. There just really wasn't a lot to like in this one. It just wasn't funny, because at least like some of the other ones we'll talk about is try to be funny. And I don't know, like, what is Michael Keaton doing in this thing? Like,
just standing there looking Michael Keaton-y.
This was in like the dry period of Michael Keaton before he had his resurgence. And Forrest Whitaker, Oscar winner, he directed this. Like, that's
what I was just thinking.
Weird.
And did the weird narration.
Yeah, you're right. Look at that. Oh man.
I was just wondering if you guys remembered this line from James. He said, if things were different, I'd still follow you around all the time. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. And I almost passed out because I was so freaked out. Like, that wasn't romantic. I don't want a guy following me around.
Restraining order. Also, can we talk about how terrible the joke was that Dylan never spoke, and she was always like, "Go, you Gabby Gus." And none of those jokes landed, and it was so stupid.
Agreed. None of the attempts at humor landed, to me at least.
I did, however, super love that their Halloween costumes were Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson Lee. That was hilarious.
Okay, I thought that's what that was. Okay, good.
I mean, and it super dated the movie, but also so funny.
Yeah. But, like, I have to say, this one, it didn't really feel, like, authentic either, because, like, in reality, like, they're definitely under a microscope for sure, like, as the president's daughter for sure, but like they also are like somewhat protected, and they go to like private schools where they're like where they're people that are at least like somewhat like them. It's not like they're going to like public schools, or like, I don't know. I think it just didn't feel authentic, and it felt kind of entitled to me, and like I said, I can enjoy a movie like The Princess Diaries, which is equally silly, but I don't know, it just feels sort of more authentic and more like a fairy tale. And this doesn't really feel like a fairy tale. It just feels like, oh, I'm listening to her complain for 2 hours.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, she complains less than the other people.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie?
Well, as the president's daughter. She's like, can we just have less security? She's not even like, give me a night with no security. I need freedom, please. She's like, I understand, but can we just dial it down? Or like have the guys wear not suits? I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we're sorry, Emma, that we put you through this.
No, I kind of had fun watching it with my husband, so it was fine. We were just making fun of it the whole time. So I guess it brought us closer together.
Yeah, but you can't review all of those other movies and then not include this one. I mean, honestly, I think there are only 4 that are about the president's child, so you've got to do all 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I understand completely.
But I didn't go into it with really good expectations. Like, in my mind, it was the worst movie I've ever seen, and I was furious.
Mhm.
So when I watched it, I was like, I've seen worse movies, probably. It's fine. Look, Mark Blucas, I like him now. Oh, look, Joey Potter, you know.
Move on to our next young adult girl, daughter of the president movie. How weird is it that they both, Chasing Liberty and First Daughter, came out the same year? That is so weird.
Well, I read that First Daughter was supposed to come out a long time ago, and it just sat in limbo for a long time. So that's why I don't know.
That's a shocker to hear. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wondered. I'm like, maybe the Bush daughters inspired them, because I don't know when they went to college, but it was around this time period. But maybe that was it. I don't know. It's kind of interesting that we've only had, until Barron, we've had just daughters.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That's all just girls.
Sasha and Malia.
That's true.
Yeah, random. So anyway, Chasing Liberty is the other 2004 First Daughter of the President movie that we got. And this movie stars Mandy Moore as our young lady, and it has Matthew Good as the lead. And I think this, not only in my opinion, this is not only a massive improvement over First Daughter, I actually thought this was pretty solid. I thought this had some interesting things that it tried to address, as far as like growing up and exploring your maturing, exploring her sensuality in a way, exploring, like, trying to figure out who she was, what she wanted. I think that it created a interesting enough character. I thought that they had pretty good chemistry between her and Matthew Good. You get to see Europe, which is pretty and enjoyable. I liked the sort of side relationship between Jeremy Piven and Annabella Scoria. Anyway, I thought they were cute. I enjoyed that. Overall, I thought this was pretty solid. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. What about you, Amber?
Me, obviously, this is one of my, I love this movie so much. I watch it all the time, movies. I mean, first of all, the soundtrack to it is, the best. They literally have Mel C doing her, electronic dance music in the background, which is amazing, because, Spice Girl, spice up your life. But this movie is so great. I love so much about it. Once again, butterfly clips. And I don't know, it's just fun, and I love Matthew Good in this movie. He is the best. I don't know what to say, because I actually really like it, so I just want Emma to validate my opinions or start a fight.
What do you think of it?
Well, I didn't hate it, so that's good.
That's close to liking it.
Yes, I was pretty neutral about this one.
Mm-hmm.
But, I didn't think I had seen it before, but when I started watching it, I had. I was like, yes, I have seen this entire movie. I don't have really, let's give it a C+ for me, and I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I just don't want to get in a fight.
No, we can fight. I'll fight with you if you want. I love fighting. Ask Rachel.
This is true. It's not like the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I thought they at least tried to make a fully fledged, real feeling character that, like, I don't know, was making choices, making interesting choices, and having like okay conversations. And so I don't know, like, there's been a million of these kind of movies for young girls. They go to Europe and become like, have some kind of adventure, whether it's like the Lizzie McGuire movie or like Monte Carlo, or there's just tons of these. It was kind of trying, I think, to maybe be a little bit Roman holiday-ish too at a certain point, that kind of a thing. But I thought that they did better than I expected. I guess maybe my expectations were pretty low after seeing First Daughter. Then I saw this and I'm like, oh, that's like a realish kind of character.
Yeah, I also approve of the choice of this movie to tell us that he's Secret Service before it tells her. So that way it's not like, ha ha ha, we gotcha. It's like, oh, this is interesting. Ugh. As opposed to just in the last one where they were like, you never saw that coming. And we're like, obviously we did because we saw Chasing Liberty.
Yeah, I didn't feel tricked. So that was good. And I was also really excited that they actually went to these other countries and it wasn't just green screened.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
I love when people have to pretend that they're married, and they did. So.
But how creepy was that mom, that gondola mom?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Sure. I don't want to like hang out with that gondola mom, but
yeah, I didn't know her name. I was too creeped out.
Her name is Marla, and she is Professor Sprout from Harry Potter.
No.
Correct. She is.
Kind of be funny about like locals, you know what I mean? Like that kind of humor. Because that can be super cringy. But yeah, that gondola was a little weird. That didn't really work. But I don't know. What do you think of Jeremy Piven and that whole sort of side plot?
I was confused by it just because I didn't believe that Morales would go for him. That's just me. I just thought he was just being a PG version of Jeremy Piven. And she seemed too strong and cool to go for him.
Too
well,
pretty.
I love Jeremy Piven in this movie. I think he is really funny. Remember when he does Hip Hop Hebrew on that bridge? Nailed it. Like that's one of my favorite things in the whole world. And I wish that there was an entire genre of music that was Hip Hop Hebrew. And I would like have it on my iPod 24/7.
Yeah. And I thought they were kind of fun. I enjoyed them. Yeah, she's probably out of his league, but it was okay for me. It worked.
But you form a bond with your partner. That's a thing.
Yeah, I can see that. I might have been being too harsh about it.
It's okay. You like to be a little salty, and it really adds some spice to this. I'm kind of cilantro, so like.
I do love cilantro, so I will be cilantro-y.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is not like Roman holiday, but like it on levels of good, but it was like solid. I just appreciated that they attempted to treat her like an actual like 18-year-old girl who's like dealing with all of these things that dealing with losing your virginity, dealing with like stuff that many young teens are having to kind of question and wonder about. And I appreciated that. So I thought it was pretty entertaining.
I really enjoyed the $6 Million Man stickers. I thought that was so cute to just have those. And when you feel alone, you see one of those stickers somewhere and then you don't feel alone. I just thought that was really cute.
Yeah, I felt for that. Yeah.
I definitely at several points in my life have looked for stickers to buy so I could stick them on walls, but I have never been able to find any available. So somebody make me some $6 Million Man stickers, please.
Or you could make like a Hallmarkies podcast sticker.
We should make a Hallmarkies podcast sticker and stick it all over the world.
I mean, we already have shirts, so
it'll just be Salt Lake City, but there'll be like a million of them.
Talk about first kid.
Okay.
So this was 1996. We're going way back.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Yeah, so this is like big time Sinbad, like leading man, like
yes,
very exciting for him. And it's about, so this time we're out of the young adult area, and we are dealing with a kid, 13-year-old. So I guess technically a teen, I guess. But anyway, and that's the son of a president, and he is under kind of house arrest, basically. Like, they're very worried about him, and he ends up going to this like private school, but there's all these bullies. The kid from Home Alone is like super mean
and like really bad at acting, but let's not talk about that anymore.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And basically, like, his Secret Service agent is Sinbad, and they become kind of friends. And Sinbad kind of helps him sort of break the rules, but it's all for like the good of the kid or whatever. And yeah, so this movie, I just thought was kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't do anything for me. It was just kind of, I didn't think Sinbad was funny. And I thought it was kind of boring. And then it ends on this kind of, like, I felt like the last 20 minutes were from like a different movie. All of a sudden it's like this sort of kind of violent, like, like stakeout thing. Like, and I don't know, like, yeah, I didn't like this movie. It didn't work for me.
All right. Well, I love Sinbad. I think he's so funny. And basically that's what this movie comes down to. Like, do you think Sinbad is funny or not? Because if you do, then you're like, he's killing it. And if you don't, then you're like, this movie is really long.
Yeah. What side did you come out on, Emma?
I'm so embarrassed, but I really enjoyed it.
Yes, that's my girl. That's my Hallremark. Yes.
I think part of it has to do with that I watched it in 2 parts. I took a 2-hour break to eat supper and take care of my kid.
Smart.
And I came back, and my husband was watching with me, and we were just like cracking up the whole time, and it was just a great time. I loved it. And the most impressive part of the movie is that Sinbad wears at least 16 different ties. And I wrote them all down.
Amazing.
Because I was so impressed by all of them. The best one, there's one that was like pre-emoji tie.
Oh.
Like, they were emojis, but this was the 90s. So he was just setting the tone. And what else? There's one with lips all over them. There was an eye chart one. That alone made the
really
movie.
dope. Yeah, I love that one.
It was super duper dope. Sorry, I heard someone say something was super duper dope a long time ago, and I couldn't believe that had happened. So now I use it all the time.
Well, I mean, that it feels like that fits with this movie. So
it might have been me, because I feel like I do say things that are super duper dope. It might have been me on the podcast, and you're like, what an idiot. And I didn't say it, but it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, Amber, do you have a particular like scene or joke or something that you really like? Or?
Oh my gosh. So it's probably not even funny in real life, but my family has always thought this was funny, and we talk about it. And when he says, he will chew my butt off. You know what that means?
Yes.
He'll just keep chewing, and my butt will get smaller and smaller until I won't have a butt anymore. I'll just be a stomach and then legs. And then I'll just slide off a chair. Like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not Sinbad, so I can't pull it off as well as he does. But that joke is so funny to me and all of my sisters when we were growing up. And I will always love it.
I don't know how that couldn't be funny. I loved it.
Yeah, Rachel, how is that not funny?
Explain yourself.
I don't even remember that joke, so it just kind of went in one ear.
Okay, wait. Remember when he's in the pizza costume and he said, I haven't been on skates since I was 15 years old. Back then I had a pizza face. Now I have a big pizza face. That is funny, Rachel. Come on.
Well, in my opinion, the best part of the movie came shortly after that when it's Luke, right? Yeah, Luke was in disguise and skating behind Katie and her friend.
Oh my gosh, Katie. Great party.
And the friend said, you know that guy in chemistry with the really bad acne? Well, he's going out with Linda. What was that? I don't understand why that was in the movie,
Wait,
but I laughed so hard.
That's the part you laughed at because our family, like all of my cousins, apparently this was a very important movie to us.
Yeah.
Right after that line, there's the other friend goes, great party, Katie. You're so popular.
I didn't hear that because I was too busy laughing at the other part. Dang it.
And we say that to each other all the time. Like, we'll go to a family party and I'll be like, great party, Grandma. You're so popular. Like, it's very funny.
Well, now I'm going to say that one instead of the other one.
Because it applies in more situations.
Well, he's going out with Linda. I'm going to bring that up all the time now. I'm going to stick with that one because it's weird.
You know that guy wearing that strange baggy pants? Well, he's going out with Linda.
See, I mean, I actually thought that the little kid did pretty good in like the scenes that required him to be emotional.
Yeah.
I bought it and I felt like it was pretty good, but I don't know. It was just boring for me. A lot of it just didn't. But yeah, the scene where he's talking about being bullied and missing his mom, and I don't know, just being lonely, I thought worked pretty well. But yeah, I guess we just all have those comics that aren't for us. And Sinbad is one of those for me.
Yeah.
Really
that kid, Brock Pierce, I think does do a really good job. And I actually was like, poor Baron, like just thinking about his poor little life being just the lonely little kid that lives at the first, but he doesn't live there. But anyway, I kept thinking how sad for him that he's probably like always alone. So this movie made me feel so sad for Baron. Anyway, but also this kid, Brock Pierce, is like super mega millionaire now.
I know.
Mr. Bitcoin character, the Timothy Busfield character, was from like another movie. I don't know. I thought it was weird.
It seemed pretty in line with a lot of these movies. Like, I mean, have you even seen Three Ninjas, Rachel?
I don't think I have.
I have not.
You guys get hip on your like
they get like
kids movies,
kind of intense, violent at the end. Like those.
I mean, just like the whole time, basically. Like Home Alone's intense, violent, Rachel.
Yeah, but it's more like I don't know. It's
no. I'll fight you.
No.
There's nothing more violent than stepping on a nail.
Yes, but it's more of in sort of, I think, kind of a Looney Tunes kind of a way of like slapsticky kind of a feel. Whereas this was just like flat out like, I'm going to kill this kid if you don't like do anything. Like, I don't know. To me, it felt like it was a very different kind of movie than the rest of the movie to me.
I can see what you're saying, but I feel like it almost needed it because he's supposed to be protecting his life. There needed to be some big thing happen, but I thought it was kind of scary.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's what I'm saying.
How bad did you feel for little Luke just being held hostage?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay,
like a different movie.
Yeah, I felt like they earned it, and they set it up with the creepy like online guy, which like, can you imagine how topical that was? I mean, it's still topical because people always meet weird strangers online, #catfish. But like,
yeah, Mongoose 12, no good.
Yeah, my favorite part though was when Mongoose 12 was like LOL, and then in parentheses wrote laugh out loud.
That was my favorite part too. I wrote it down. I was looking at it as you said that. So okay, I just want to know if I am dumb. Be nice when you answer this. Did you think it was going to be his old agent who was Mongoose 12? Did you know that?
I mean, I knew it, but I don't know what I knew initially when I was like 8. So
Because
Well,
I was thinking maybe it's the mean kid from school and they're going to find
yeah.
out they have something in common. Maybe it's the girl. And then I also thought that maybe it was Bill Clinton who was looking for his saxophone still. You remember that? They're on this weird iPhone, like
Yeah.
pre-iPhone, talking to Bill Clinton like, have you seen my saxophone?
I think that was in First Daughter, though, wasn't it?
Wait, what?
Was that in this movie or was that in First Daughter?
Oh, I swore it was in this one.
No, it's in this one. There's totally a Bill Clinton cameo in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in this one, and you
Got
also get the
nervous.
you also get the Sonny Bono
Yeah, what was that?
weird
Amazing.
awkward thing.
Who cares? They got Sonny Bono to be in the movie. If you can get someone to be in your movie, you're just like, yep, you're in.
But yeah, I this was my first time seeing it, so I agree with you, Emma, that I kind of thought it might be the bully. I could see that because you just so briefly see the other agent, like
Yeah.
that. It was a little bit of a surprise, and yeah, it was just like, wow, this movie took a turn. And so, whereas at least in Home Alone, you see that the wet bandits are there the whole movie, like you're
Yeah.
aware. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, it's harmless. I just thought it was kind of boring for me.
Well, any of the boring parts were made funny to me by Sinbad being the funniest.
The last one we're gonna talk about, I did think it was funny and actually did make me laugh. So I don't know.
All right, let's just skip to Will Friedle.
Let's talk about My Date with the President's Daughter.
First things first, we need to say best theme song in the history of the universe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this was 1998. This was a Disney Channel movie, and I enjoyed watching this. This is about the president has a daughter once again, and she ends up she ends up meeting this boy played by Will Friedle at the mall, and she doesn't tell him that she's the president's daughter, and he asks her to this school dance, and she gives him her dress, which he doesn't realize is the White House. And anyway, so they end up having this adventure together. And I think that Will Friedle is a delight, and I love him. I am a huge Boy Meets World fan. It's one show that I watched the whole show from day one to the end. They were basically like the characters on that show were basically the same age as me. Like, and so like when they were in high school, I was in high school, and when they went to college, like I was going to college, and I don't know. So I really connected very much with Topanga and Corey and the whole team. So anytime I can see any of them in anything, I'm happy. And I was so devastated that Girl Meets World got canceled. And I mean, Will Friedle, he played Eric Matthews on Boy Meets World, and he was definitely the comic relief. And he started out being kind of like the cool character, but then I think they realized that he had this comic timing, and they started to make him really goofy as the series went on. But I don't know. I still just loved him. I thought he was great. It was really funny. And I thought that he was charming in this, and that he elevated the whole thing. And you have Dabney Coleman in it as the president. He's great. And so it was a pretty solid cast for a TV movie, I think. And overall, I liked it. I thought this one was pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love this movie so much. The girl is a little bit irritating to me because, like, what is wrong with her?
Mm-hmm.
Picking fights with truckers and stealing cars and making him spend $700. Like, she's the worst. Can we agree that she's the worst of all the kids?
Oh, yeah.
But despite that and how irritating she is and how stupid all the parents are. Will Friedle makes this movie a delight.
Yeah,
He
agreed.
is the absolute greatest. I want Will Friedle in a Hallmark movie more than I can possibly say. I don't even know what he would be, but it would be the best movie of the year.
Agreed. We need to make that happen.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking really hard about it right now. That's why I'm being quiet. Like
Oh
what
my
he would
gosh.
be.
What could
Wouldn't he be an amazing Santa? Like a funny Santa?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously a young Santa, but like a funny young Santa?
Yeah, he would be so good.
He has to have the same haircut that he did in this movie. Like he still has to have that. Like every time I looked at him, I kept thinking that haircut is terrible, but I just accept it. That's how I picture him. So I was fine with it. Yeah. But I'm also not. It's a very confusing thing for me.
I think, I don't know, this movie, it clips along pretty well, and so I think that helps it a little bit. You know, that's the thing that's nice about these TV movies is they don't feel the need to be feature length.
Could you imagine how unbearable it would be without Will Friedle if it was just like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Zachary Ty Bryant?
Yeah, if it was just like generic Disney Channel 90s person, then it would be pretty brutal.
He literally carries this entire movie on his back, and he does a great job.
I loved Dabney Coleman. I think he's a really, really good comic actor. So I thought he was pretty fun as the president. So,
but even his part wasn't like the best. But Will Friedle made every scene pop.
And he had the most 90s character name of all time with Duncan Fletcher.
Yeah, so
I can't think of anything more 90s than that. When you guys first messaged me about doing this and I saw My Date with the President's Daughter was on there, I cracked up for 15 minutes and ran and called my dad because we hate watched this when I was like in 3rd or 4th grade. Like,
what?
Oh, really?
Well, my dad's a huge movie snob, so he raised me to be movie snob, and I'm recovering now. But that's just a huge inside joke between us, and I still sing that theme song all the time.
It's so good. You know, I wish there was a full-length version of that I could listen to all the time. There's not. I've looked, obviously. But it was by the presidents of the United States.
That's just funny to me.
What'd you think of her pink dress?
Oh my gosh. Could there be a more 90s dress?
Yeah.
Literally, it's bright pink spaghetti strap short dress made out of like velour. Like, yes, give me your velour shiny dress.
I would wear that.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't pull it off, but
oh, I don't know if I could either, but I want to. Like, when I remember this movie, I think about the theme song, that pink dress, and then the eye ring.
The eye ring is so epic.
I want one of those.
I'll find you one, Emma.
Thank you, and I'll design you a sticker.
Somebody contact the President of the United States and make that song.
Yeah. She looked like she could be a groupie for the Spice Girls. It was very, very 90s, which I enjoyed. And I thought they had, like, even though she was kind of annoying, I thought they had okay chemistry. Like, it was better than first daughter chemistry.
Yeah, and especially when you consider, like, it literally is their first date.
Yeah, agreed.
Didn't you feel bad for Duncan the whole time, though?
100%.
I don't care that it was for a bet. Like, I don't even care about that for some reason. But I just felt so bad for him because
it wasn't even like really a rude bet.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I bet you can't make this girl look beautiful in time for prom. But it was like, you're such a dweeb. I bet you and your magic can't even make the date appear. And he was like, poof, I have a date. Give me your money.
The president's daughter.
Yeah, but whatever.
I mean, there's some a little bit of a tense moment towards the end.
Oh my
for
god.
a Disney Channel movie where she's in some tense situations. Let's put it that way. With this guy in this frat house. It's interesting. They go there for a Disney Channel movie.
I need him to be arrested like yesterday.
Yeah, he looked like the kind of person you see on a cautionary tale Lifetime movie. It was scary. And he and he has to and Duncan has to basically steal that motorcycle to go after her. He's like, this is in service of the US government.
Poor Duncan.
I know.
Committing felonies.
I know. How would you rank these 4 movies, Amber? What
Just
would
like
your ranking
within
be?
themselves.
Yeah, like 1 to 4.
I would honestly put Chasing Liberty first, and then First Kid, then My Date with the President's Daughter, and then like really far down, First Daughter. Like it's a pretty tight grouping up at the top, and then it's not that tight for First Daughter. But
Interesting.
I didn't want to kill myself when watching First Daughter, so.
Okay, Emma, how would you rank it? Rank the 4.
Well, I don't want to be judged, but I thought First Kid was number 1.
Nice. Can't blame ya.
And then I'd go with Chasing Liberty, My Date with the President's Daughter. And then, like, just as far as down as you can go, number 7,000, First Daughter.
Yeah. For me, I would say Chasing Liberty is way higher than the rest. I thought it actually tried to make like real characters that had real problems that I related to, and I just liked it a lot. And then I would say My Date with the President's Daughter is second, and then First Kid, and then First Daughter. We all agree that one is definitely the worst, and it was probably good that I started with that as my first film, but it was kind of bad because I was like texting Amber, I'm like, why are you making me do this? Like,
and I was like, Rachel, it's going to be the worst one. Just get through it, and then you'll be fine.
Haven't I suffered enough? Like I already had to watch The Perfect Christmas Present and finding engaging Father Christmas in these movies. So but it was good because it kind of set the bar low and everything could kind of go up from there. So it was probably the best way to go about it. But yeah, so there you go. That's these 4 movies. So we have started a new thing, relatively new, where we like to give our guests, we got to get to know them a little bit better and ask them some silly questions. And so we'd like to do that with you, Emma. And so have at it, Amber.
All right. So first and foremost, what is the best ice cream flavor?
Cappuccino.
Interesting. Very exotic. Next, what is your favorite color?
Oh, it's in between green and white.
So
white for
pale
clothing
green.
and decor.
Oh, gotcha.
And wait, I got my favorite color wrong. It's blue. Why did I say green?
I don't know. What music are you listening to right now?
Ooh, I love to listen to Switchfoot.
Yes.
John Foreman. So we're going to go back to Chasing Liberty and thank Mandy Moore for bringing Switchfoot to the mainstream and A Walk to Remember.
Absolutely.
So I will always love her because of that. And I also listen to Casey Musgraves a lot. And I love Ben Folds.
Oh, yeah.
And Weezer. And I just love all different types of music.
Awesome.
And I've been listening to Let It Go a lot from Frozen because my 1.5-year-old watches that part of the movie and then sings Go, Go with like her hands out like she's Elsa, and it's the cutest thing ever. So I have that song in my head all the time.
That's adorable. Isn't it? It's so amazing how much Frozen connects with little girls. Like, I know people get sick of it, but it is amazing. the other day I was babysitting I don't know, like a 4 and like a 2-year-old, and I have like very little for kids to do in my house. And so it was basically like watch Disney movies all day. And me and these girls, and I put on Jungle Book. They didn't like that. I put on I'm trying to remember what else, bunch of different things they didn't like. And then I put on Frozen, and they were like, Frozen. They sat down. They were so excited. I don't know. It's just interesting how it's just their movie. It's the movie of the generation.
It's so sweet. It's a good movie. It makes me cry so much.
Yeah, I love it. Cool.
All right. What is your go-to date night food?
Oh, Mexican food.
Excellent.
Ooh.
What's your
sure.
go-to date night activity?
Well, eating.
Mexican.
That's our favorite thing to do, is to go out to eat.
Okay, I love it.
And then we'll watch a movie or something afterwards.
What's what's a great date night movie for you? One you guys really like?
It's kind of hard right now because I'm making him watch so many Hallmark movies. But to be honest, right now we're watching a lot of The Big Interview with Dan Rather. I know that's not a movie, but he interviews a lot of musicians and actors, and we love that.
Oh,
That's so romantic, right?
That's very educational.
So educational. We're so smart.
Is that like your counterbalance to Hallmark?
I guess, yeah. He's like, we have to watch music television, and they're like, we have to watch Hallmark. So he's very patient with me.
Okay. And then dogs or cats?
Cats.
Perfect. That's the right answer. Absolutely. Beaches or mountains?
Mountains.
Perfect.
I don't like the
Right
sand.
answer. Absolutely.
Oh.
And then fancy dress clothes or sweats?
Oh, okay. So I've been in sweats since I had my kid a year and a half ago, and it's so comfortable, but I really want to dress up. I miss dressing up.
Okay.
But most of the time I will look like a slob garbage person.
You're so funny. Okay. And then favorite holiday?
What do you think? President's Day. No, Christmas. I watch Christmas movies year round.
That's the way to be, right, Emma? You're just making good choices all around.
Thank you.
Okay, and then this is the toughest question.
You're gonna ask me what my favorite Disney Channel original movie is, aren't you?
No, but close. Favorite Hallmark movie. And then you can do Disney Channel original movie, but
Okay.
it'll be a bonus.
Favorite Hallmark movie. And this is going to be super weird because I'm going to do a non-Christmas and then a Christmas.
All
Nope,
right.
that's
My favorite
that's how I know
non-Christmas.
you're an actual Hallmark blogger.
So my favorite non-Christmas is Rachel's favorite. It's oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. I just got really nervous. It's like How to Fall in Love, right?
Oh yeah, How to Follow. It's super cute.
Okay.
Love it.
I just blacked out. I got nervous. And then Amber's gonna pass out because it's the 9 Lives of Christmas.
Ah! See, this is why you just fit in so well here.
I just love it so much. But
Cool.
The first Hallmark Christmas movie I ever watched was The Christmas Card, so I feel like I have to be loyal to it and say it's my favorite, but in all honesty, it is 9 Lives.
Yeah, 9 Lives is just so good.
It is good.
Kimberly Sestad, can we just... Oh, she's so good.
Yes, it's really, really good. We both really like that. So good choices. How to Fall in Love is super good. I still really like The Christmas Card, so I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid on that one. So
The Christmas curly fries.
Yes.
Oh.
So good choices all around. And thanks so much.
Wait, hey.
Yeah, favorite decom.
Yeah, our favorite decom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 3 that are tied.
Okay.
Johnny Tsunami, which
Excellent.
I will watch forever. Motocrossed, because it cracks me up. And then High School Musical 3, which doesn't really count as a Disney Channel original movie because it was in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you remember in Johnny Tsunami where there's that boarder who's like, did he just stomp that landing?
Yeah.
You know that guy, Noah Bastian? He's from Utah,
Okay.
and he was in Together, the short-lived MTV boy band that had a series
Okay.
and a movie, and I met him in real life. Boom.
What did you say?
Also, crazy bonkers. When I went to California, Johnny Tsunami was the bartender.
What?
Yeah.
Where you went? He was the bartender?
Yes.
That's so random.
The grandpa Johnny Tsunami or the young Johnny Tsunami?
The young Johnny Tsunami.
You talked to him?
No, I didn't because
Oh my god.
but he was there and I took pictures and I was like, why is he at a bar? This is Johnny Tsunami. He should be stomping that landing.
Oh my
What?
gosh.
I've never seen Johnny Tsunami. What, Amber, is your favorite Disney TV movie?
Okay, so for the longest time, I thought it was Stepsister from Planet Weird.
Uh-huh.
And then I watched it again, and I'm not sure.
Didn't hold up.
I just really loved both of the guys in that movie. As a child. Probably on motocrossed, though.
Okay. Wow, look at you guys. Yeah, so
Rachel doesn't even know. I guess her favorite is
No.
probably My Date with the President's Daughter.
No, I mean, Disney is my thing, so I have seen many a Disney Channel movie. I do love High School Musical. Like, not ironically, I actually really love it.
Oh yeah.
And
1000%.
I really like the Kim Possible movie because animation is also kind of my thing.
And it's got Will Friedle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I like there's this really like random one from the 80s that is super fun that's called Mr. Boogedy, because I do a Disney Scares month in October on my channel, and so I've done all the obvious ones because now we're on year 3. And so I was having to dig a little deeper, and I like the Halloween Town ones, and then I did found this movie called Mr. Boogedy, and it was actually really fun, and I enjoyed it very much. And I actually like the Descendants movies. People like have this bizarre hatred for them that I don't really understand, but I think they're fun. I enjoy them, and especially the first one. Second one wasn't as good. And I also saw this weekend, I saw their new movie Zombies, and I totally dug it. I thought it was super fun. Great songs, great choreography, and I thought it had a really important message that they did a good job with. So I liked that a lot. So I like.
Also, I forgot that I really love Under Wraps, the Disney Channel original movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
About
Hold
a
on.
mummy.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
You've never seen Under Wraps? I have
really
never
don't
loved a
know.
boy more than I loved the main guy in that movie.
Who is it?
He's like 5 years old. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
They have been like killing it with these musicals lately, I think, though.
Yeah.
I like the Teen Beach movies are super fun.
Mhm.
I just really like these musicals.
Well, I remember thinking, you'll never be High School Musical. I was watching Teen Beach movie.
Yeah.
So
It's
probably
not
too
as
harsh
good,
on
but
it.
it's still pretty fun, I think. Thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we hope you had a good time.
I did. Thank you so much for having me. It's a dream come true.
Well, hopefully this will be the first of many times.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, we'll definitely do it. And so, Amber, where can people find you?
As always, people can find me. I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Awesome. So you can find me at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Family Movie Night series every Sunday. I post a review of a movie you can watch with your entire family. And this week I did my own review of The Cutting Edge, which we did the whole podcast on. So you want to check that out and have fun with that. And yeah, thanks again. And we will see you all, or you'll hear from us all again in a few days when we're talking Countdown to Valentine's. Bye.
Right. Bye, everybody.